I didn't think it would ever happen. I didn't think I should have told this story. But that's what's about to happen. I have created an app that, in just 10 days from its publication in the Google Store, the Play Store, perhaps the most used app store in the world, has had a great success. Think, after 10 days I received this report: congratulations on the launch of your DistroKid unofficial app. It is already classified as number 14 in music and audio, United States. I published the DistroKid unofficial app around October 20, 2022. On the morning of November 1st, around 1 p.m., it was the 14th most downloaded music app in the US and in position number 463 of all the most downloaded apps. Exceptional figures, you will say. In about 10 days, my app, which was not a player and which was aimed exclusively at musicians and operators in the music sector, was giving a hard time to apps like Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Deezer, etc. But it doesn't stop there. Also on November 1st, I received a new report in the evening. At 9:30 p.m. I was informed that she had risen to 12th place. Until that time, the app had been downloaded more than 500 times. Around November 10th, it surpassed 1,000 downloads. At the time of writing, it was downloaded 1,966 times in another store. Also, I missed the direct download data, which I will talk about in more detail later. So why did I write in the title that DistroKid Unofficial is a dead in the bud app? Let me tell you the story of how I came to create it. In 2013, I signed up for Google's music distribution service, Google Play Music, under the pseudonym Tyros.bot. I didn't earn much, but I released 1,000 songs, almost all of them mine. Curiously, much of my music was mostly listened to not in Italy, my native country, but in Brazil. Towards the end of 2018, I received a trial subscription to Spotify. I fell in love with this player that allowed you to listen to music for free or with a monthly subscription and to guarantee royalties to musicians. I also wanted to publish on Spotify. But how to do it? And what about other services, such as Apple Music? On January 18, 2019, I received a phone call from a famous composer, who proposed me the collaboration for a new musical album. Over the next few days, we released Adios Mi Amor on Spotify, Apple Music and other music stores. A couple of months passed, and I received a shocking communication from Google. You can read it in the article I wrote at the time. With the closure of Google Play Music, what happened to the music I had released? I talked about it with other musicians. It wasn't a big deal for them to re-release an album or a couple of singles. But for me it was a tragedy. I had to republish 1,000 audio files. Google suggested a list of distributors. My choice fell on DistroKid. From time to time I have also told you about other distribution services. But why did I choose DistroKid in the end? On the one hand, I was attracted by a phrase that I found on the DistroKid website. He explained that over 90% of the music on Spotify is released through this service. In addition, distribution on over 250 stores is guaranteed. On the other hand, we find the costs. For those who distribute an album a year, or every 2 to 3 years, one store is as good as another. For those who distribute a lot of music, either because, like me, he is a prolific composer, or because he is a music producer or a record company, DistroKid offers the best value for money. A single artist pays almost €20 a year to distribute all the music he wants in over 250 music stores. With the other services, however, each album costs either €1 per song or at least €30 per album. Also, not all stores are usually guaranteed. It is true that, for some services, DistroKid requires additional costs, but these are also foreseen in the other stores. The only service that I considered buffered is the one that concerns the controls of YouTube videos. I rely on Songtrada, as this service is free. In addition, DistroKid continues to create new functions. It also provides useful guides regarding the music world. One of these functions is linked to the possibility of getting in touch with other artists and, thus, opening new collaborations. In fact, this recently happened to me. When Eurovision calls. In social networks you can find the easiest way to create new collaborations. For example, on Facebook there is both the official DistroKid page and one created specifically to search for collaborators, DistroKid collaborations. In this group, new posts are constantly published by artists, managers, producers, advertisers, etc. of all the world. The main contribution I initially made to the group was to come to the rescue of new DistroKid members, who are often confused and doubtful. Then, just over a year ago, I started reading a question, which kept being repeated: is there a DistroKid app? So, I started it, and I created the app. But how did I do it? I'm not a real Android app programmer, even if I studied programming for a while. For over 2 years I have been a member of the AppsGeezer site, with which I have created and published several apps. I have talked about it in some articles. How does AppsGeezer work? The service allows you to create apps for free starting from a PDF document or from a website. So, I simply entered the address of the DistroKid site, or https://distrokid.com, and AppsGeezer did the rest. For over a year I have been testing the app, which I call DistroKid Unofficial, on various devices, smartphones, tablet PCs, and virtual machines. From time to time, I invited members of the Facebook group to try the app by providing the APK file. In the end, since I was about to publish 2 more apps, I said to myself, there is number 2 without 3. Come on, I'm also publishing DistroKid Unofficial. For the sake of the topic, the other 2 apps are Curation in Tip.ee, app on Google Play based on the site that allows you to read the texts of the videos that I publish both in the Symphonic Music Soul and Angelo Del Game YouTube channels, and on Curation PC podcast Let's Communicate, app on Google Play, a messaging and video calling app based on Telegram. And so, in mid-October 2022 I published these 3 apps. As mentioned above, DistroKid Unofficial had a global, worldwide success in a few days. When I published the app, I had included a suggestion in the description: use my app only until the official one arrives. Yet, as the title says, the app is dead in the bud. How did it happen that a successful app died? After over 500 downloads, I started getting some complaints. Some claimed that the app was a scam. The problem, however, concerned an error of mine in the publication phase. The Google Console publishing system requires you to fill in several entries. When it comes to a browser app, like the one I was publishing, some reference sites must be indicated. Among the links I had inserted, there was one suggested by AppsGeezer, which is used to filter in-app advertising. But something went wrong. In fact, several users warned me that the ad would run every 15 to 30 seconds if all went well. Trying on my phone, the advertisement started even after 5 to 10 seconds from another. Working with the app had become almost impossible. They told me it was a scam. But not from me. In fact, the app is free. I don't get anything out of it. Those who sign up via the app pay DistroKid directly, not me. However, I intervened by deleting that link which, among other things, AppsGeezer does not oblige to use. After that the amount of advertising decreased. But, in the meantime, through AppsGeezer I have prepared 2 new versions of the app. In both cases, something happened. When I tried to publish the first update to the app, Google replied that it lacked a function, the ability to create a test account. A test account for a site like DistroKid? But are they crazy? A trial account would be equivalent to a free account that would allow you to publish music on over 250 stores, and earn in spite of royalties. At this point, I tried to post the second update which, of course, couldn't contain any test accounts. This was also rejected. They did not, however, provide me with any explanation. Google did not come to meet me and prevented me from publishing an app without in-app advertising or, at least, with few ads. In fact, after removing the AppsGeezer link, the advertisements should have disappeared or become sporadic. Do you think that, in over a year of use via the APK file, I have never seen a single advertisement? At this point, I decided to deactivate the app in the store and I made a link available to the Facebook group to download the app file from Dropbox. Don't be surprised by this, because the time will come when DistroKid Unofficial, now in a memorial tomb, will hear my click and come out. John 5 verses 28 and 29. I loosely paraphrased the words of the Gospel, vowing to bring DistroKid Unofficial back to life in the future. Maybe I'll be able to publish it in another store, like Amazon's, where at the moment there is only Symphonic Musical Soul, the official app of the homonymous YouTube music channel. Thus, it may become easier to work on DistroKid even using Windows 11. In the meantime, musicians and other friends and colleagues in the industry, try my app. Have your say. If anyone among you would like to get hold of the APK and AAB files, the collaboration would be more than welcome.